Hey there, I'm Alain Simonov, and you're watching a review of Alain Simonov and Shin Lim's Air. What is up, you people? My name is Tyler Lunsford, and welcome back to another magic trick review here on the channel. Now, if you're new here, then definitely please consider subscribing and take a look on the channel at my past reviews. Now, if you are new, then welcome. Thank you for stopping by and spending some time today. I really do appreciate it, so thank you so much for that. And you didn't have to click on my face, but I'm glad you did. I'm so glad you're here. So let's get right into a magic review about Air by Shin Lim, which you're going to want to stick around, because if you want to purchase this because you think it looks really cool, it does look really cool, but there are some restrictions and other things that I want to talk about with it. So stay watching till the end. Stay watching till the end. Stay here and watch until the end. There we go. And hopefully you'll get something out of this review. So let me know what you think of Air after this review down below in the comments. I always read your comments. I always look forward to replying to them. So thank you so much for being here. Without further ado, let's get into this review right now. One more thing before this video does get started, I do want to say this product was sent to me by Abstract Effects to be reviewed, but they actually don't sell this product on their website. They're not a full retailer of magic, which means they only sell their own stuff, so you know that you're truly getting an unbiased review right now when you watch this video, because they don't even sell this product. They're helping me out with the channel, helping me buy some more magic so that way I can do these reviews for you guys and put out more reviews for you guys. So thanks so much to Abstract Effects for helping me out, and hopefully you get something out of this video as well. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. First off, you need to know what actually is Air. Well, Air by Alain Simonov is more than just a one-trick pony. It's a tool that will allow you to perform countless effects combined with different applications and objects. Cards, coins, money, poker chips, the list goes on. Because of its easy accessibility and usability, Air can be easily applied to your current routine. Both Shin and Alain's goal of this project is to take your current routine to the next level. An important note to make is for Shin Lim's bonus section about the coin through glass. Special coins are needed in order to accomplish this effect. Anything that is similar to the sucker punch gimmick coins will work. Let's talk about what you'll be receiving if you decide to purchase it. We'll be getting a tutorial video online that you can stream or download, where Shin Lim's going to be in part of it and also Alan's going to be in another part of it. The tutorial video is around 40 minutes long, and on that video you learn how to construct your gimmick, because I'll go ahead and mention it. There is just a tiny bit of DIY. Now, there's no really huge gimmick construction. You're not having to spend a ton of time on these gimmicks, but I will warn you, you will have to do just a little bit of work, and it won't take much. The reason they couldn't make these ahead of time is because, one, you are customizing this to your own objects that you want to use the Air principle with, and also, depending on the size of your hand, that will have an impact on how you build your gimmick. You'll also be receiving some supplies so you can make your Air gimmicks, and you also get an exclusive Zoom interview between Alan and Shin. Now that you know what Air is, and you know what you'll be receiving, let's talk about some more questions you may have, such as how difficult is it to perform? Air is not that difficult to do. It's going to take a little bit of practice, and once you understand the actual action of the Air gimmick, working, once you get that down, it'll probably take, a few hours, something around there. It's so hard for me to judge these practice times, because everybody has a different practice time depending on what the trick actually is and your experience and all sorts of things like that. But just overall, it's not that difficult to do, but it is going to take some practice. And I'll go ahead and talk about angles real quick. You need to keep your audience in front of you for this. It will yield the best results. Is Air examinable? No, the gimmicks that you're making with Air are not examinable. They are not something you can hand out, but also, by the same token, this is not something your spectators are going to want to see, because you're performing this in a parlor stage environment or on social media. This is not something for walk around, so they shouldn't really be wanting to examine your props, because no one's going to interrupt your show and run on stage and say, "Hey, let me see that gimmick that you just had on your hand." It's not going to happen. It's just not. How's the setup when it comes to Air? Now, I've already talked about the DIY aspect of it and the initial setup and things like that, so what I want to touch on here was just telling you that, hey, the supplies you get is enough to build several gimmicks for the Air aspect, whatever you want to do with the Air principle. You can put it on coins, cards, things like that. You have the supplies to do a few of those things. But if you want to do this frequently and with even more objects, then they will tell you where to get more of this material, so that way you can go find it and buy it for yourself. It's not that expensive to get. Are there any negatives or things you should know about Air before purchasing? Yes, there are several things you should know. One is that you're not going to be doing this in a walk-around setting. You're buying this to do on social media, in a parlor or stage setting. That's where you're going to be performing this mainly. And let's talk about some lighting restrictions. There's not many lighting restrictions and not many clothing restrictions for some of the effects and some of the ways that you want to make it vanish. They do suggest a couple different background and clothing. I'm trying to figure out how to word this without giving too much away. but things like that, they do, describe how to manage these certain things. So for some of the effects, you do need to worry about that, but for the most part, you don't really need to worry about your lighting, because mainly just normal parlor stage lighting will be fine. Like I said, you're not going to be doing this walk around, so just know that before purchasing. Another negative is that on the Zoom call that they have posted on there, which is really nice, I'm glad they did it. It's more information, it's more of like a magic talk about like philosophy, magic culture, things like that. So if you're into that, you'll like it. It does cut out at certain points because someone had some unstable internet connection, but for the most part, if you're interested in it, you'll get through it. But I just wish that someone would have put in an Ethernet cable or something. Like, someone would have been wired. They both could have been wired and made this a lot better, I feel like. I just feel like that would have made better. Record your audio on separate ends. I don't know, something like that. They could have made that Zoom call a lot better and made sure that it ran smoothly. So there is a few times where it kind of drops out, but if you're into it, I'm sure you can get through it. Another small thing you need to know, and this is mainly with the physical version, if you're thinking about getting Air, honestly, I would think about getting the download and then getting the supplies to go with it, because the supplies is not going to be that much more to where you're going to be, making this cost seem like a lot cheaper option. It's not that much cheaper if you do the download. And then you want to get like the supplies. It might be a little bit more expensive, but you'll be getting way more supplies so that we can build way more gimmicks if you're really into this. So I totally suggest that if you want to check it out, get the download. If you're into it, then buy the supplies that you need. What are the positives about Air? Air is a really cool principle, and by no means a new principle. It's been around for 100 years in Magic, probably even longer. But this is something that they have really given you a lot of different perspectives, or shall I say like presentations to do in different objects. And Shin, really with his coin through glass, he gives you several different routines, and most of those are probably for social media because of the angles on them and things like that. Also, some of them are just kind of like half thought out ideas, and he even acknowledges that. He's like, if you want to try to do something with this is like what I came up with. So he pretty much talks about it like that. But it is really cool, and those routines are really nice. And the actual Air principle is really cool, so the visual on it's going to look cool. As long as you're performing in these certain environments, you can definitely make some cool social media videos, or even ramp up your current routine that you do on stage. What should Air retail as? Well, it currently retails as $20 US, and is that a fair price? Yes, I don't think $20 is a bad price to pay for this, but like I mentioned earlier, I think that if you're really into this, you should probably just pick up the download and then buy the supplies separately, because you're going to buy more supplies anyways if you're really into this and you want to make multiple gimmicks. So I just recommend buying the download, buying the supplies. That's probably the best option for this. That's my opinion. Yeah, $20 is fine for the physical product, but just do the download and buy the supplies if you think you're really going to use this. Now, this isn't a negative, it's not a positive, it's just a fact that I want to tell you. I don't personally see myself using this. Not because I don't like it, but because it just doesn't suit the environments I perform in, my performance style, or really anything like that. It's just not for me. It's not something I want to do. Unless I'm doing it for social media, that will be the place I'm doing this. But as far as doing the whole making coins and cards vanish with my hands and things like that, not even using that principle. And as far as a stage setting goes, I may be using it on Instagram or social medias, like different accounts or whatever, making different social media videos. But personally, I'm not going to be using this in real life, just because, and I'm not saying you can't use it in real life. That's not what I'm saying at all. Just not for the environments and performance style that I like to be in. Just not for me. Thank you so much for watching this review all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to check out Air because you feel that it is for you, the link to purchase it is in the description down below. Now, also in the description is a link to my Instagram page. There you can follow me on Instagram at TarLancerMagic. There I post all sorts of behind the scenes, Q&As, sneak peeks, polls that you can participate in. So I'd love to have you over there on my Instagram. I also love having you here, so thanks for being here. If you want to help support the channel, TarLancer.com, great place to do it. Patreon, another great place to do it. I'm going to be doing some really cool things with my Patreon and adding some cool benefits, so stay on the lookout for that. I'd like to thank Abstract Effects for allowing me to have this product so that way I can do this review, a few beautiful people out there, and hopefully I'll see you in another review that I post sometime soon. See ya. No one's going to interrupt your show and run on stage and say, hey, let me see that gimmick that you just had on your hand. It's not going to happen. It'd be like that scene in Now You See Me where the dude's running on stage and gets tackled by the people because they think they're playing football. It'd be funny. Would be good, but it'd be funny.